Here we go,
They don't
fNATIC
play
versus
overpass,
AMKAL.
Vince, but they played a lot of it yesterday. They always float it in the veto, and it popped up. And we're back on it again with them taking on fNATIC, mate. This is going to be a bit of a hurricane game.
I think it will be, and a lot of people watching that game yesterday were scratching their heads like, this is the scrappiest Counter-Strike I've ever seen. So
they don't play it.
I really have no idea what to expect, but maybe they've gone back to the drawing board. They're going to learn very quickly and assimilate this into their map pool as Krad goes in for the first, and they are spilling out onto this A side. Already 2 casualties. Matty's going to try his best to repel this push, but Krad says no with that clock, shuts it down for a 2-on-4 retake.
Okay, scrappy pistol round then, but an advantage in the hands of AMKAL. As they set up on the angles, QB looking for the retake out towards Bank, but Krad cashes in another kill, and Crims gets one. Nuclear Vince with the AWP. He was really good on that opening Anubis game in terms of opening up the rounds. A great entry for them. And you want to see Afro come into his own. CT side overpass is kind of a bit of an AWP's paradise if you can find your confidence and find the money to afford it.
Well, this is the very map, if we cast our minds back to Shiro, when he really emerged. This is a map he was phenomenal on with the AWP on the CT side with those Gambit youngsters. Matty's obliterated from the HE. Horrible start if you are fNATIC. Ooh, QB took tons of damage through that smoke as well. Afro's going to get aggressive. Out to the Lion's Den. There's multiple players here. He's going to be a dead man. That seems like a desperation play to me because you've hemorrhaged kills elsewhere, and our body is going to be between multiple players of his own. Nice double frag comes in for him, and he lands a triple headshot. It's not enough to dispatch of Travis, but he's given his team a chance.
It's one of those, Vince. You see him hit the dink. You're thinking the second bullet will land and he'll clean up with 3 frags. Instead, it's 38 seconds on the clock in a 3 versus 2. The missed smoke round towards the van, potentially giving an opportunity for fNATIC to fight back. QB lining up the nade, wants to drop that down on the head of the planter, but it's small amounts of damage. A little bit of shrapnel.
QB on 32 though. 1 bullet lands on him, he's a goner. They're setting up more for exit frags at this stage. I don't think they can fully commit to this, can they? They've got no kits between these 2 players. They've got no grenades. This seems like madness. The Crims is going to show that maybe he's saying, after all, Forrester stuck on the site, and now they realize they have to pull the plug. Even if they were able to pave the way with the blood of the T's, it doesn't make a great deal of difference. And Forrester going to try and shut them down. The bomb may finish off QB. I think he's going to be safe, though, on that 32 HP. It's going to be... Well, Matty's took grenade damage earlier on in a similar position. This time it's going to work out. Forrester plucked. One of the first times I can think of in this game where fNATIC have got the opening pick and it's been clean. So maybe this is the turnaround they've been looking for. Replenishing the smoke in Monster. It's going to get naded out, and Krad may go in for this peak. Or maybe goes just before the grenade. QB in the meanwhile though is playing anti-flash. They nade off Matty's, but QB's in the perfect moment here to try and lock this one down. The flash comes in, but it's too late. QB gets 2.
Crims even chiming in with 1 towards short as Travis gets denied entry this time. And for the first time, fNATIC pass with flying colors, at least on the initial push. And AMKAL, realizing that the ship has sailed, send Icy on a bit of a fun run, Vince, a marathon the whole way around the map. AK in his hands, money pretty much in the bin as well, so holding on to the Kalashnikov, probably the best case scenario off the back of this one.
Yeah, and he is the player with the worst funds on the team as well. If this save is afforded, they'll be able to buy again into the next round. Won't be ideal, won't be fantastic, but they'll have some bits to play with. But good news on the side of fNATIC. They finally get themselves a CT round. Was pretty convincing, pretty good, and solid overall. QB up to 6 now. Afro wasn't called upon to use that AWP, but still maintaining a bulk of their utility. And that all adds up. That's all extra pennies and cents and dollars. So finally some success, something to get excited for on the CT side. But AMKAL, they'll be assessing their options here. There was a couple of Molotov forcing them away. Body gets counter-flashed. And now this is going to put a lot more pressure on Afro and Crims to really pick up the slack.
Hot flash around the corner, body blind but still spamming. Jumps back in for a reface but loses his lips. Afro strikes on Travis, but we've quite quickly fallen into a 3 versus 3. Gonna have to wield the AWP like a shot. He misses on a backstab, Vince, as Krad claims his life with a Galil, and there's 20 seconds left to fix this round.
Not an easy shot by any stretch of the imagination, but expect a lot of AWPers to go for the no-scope in those situations. Completely caught by surprise. Matty's and QB now with 10 seconds. 1 kill could be good enough to just isolate this away, but Matty sprays down, gets the 2, recovers in time. And time of the essence, forcing Forrester for the save with the AWP, meaning that fNATIC have strung together. Body's aggression in connector for this round. We haven't really seen this just yet against rifles. We've seen it against pistols. HE in, and Travis instantly dispatches of body, and that is con control shifting firmly in favor of the T's.
The AMKAL scalpel that makes an incision for map control in this round. Forrester looking for more, as well as the assaults, gets gory with the Galil, and QB falls. So fNATIC now going to have to reel to get themselves back in this round, Vince. Outnumbered. And the push is coming towards A. Crims, the old school cool. He had some big rounds yesterday, but has to show up massively here.
He only had one bullet. Oh, no. That is a horrible misjudgment from Crims. You know, you were saying old school cool. That's the veterancy, that's the experience. You don't expect him to be caught with one bullet in the magazine.
Oh, Vince.
Now, it's not to say that if he had 20 in the mag, it would have made much of a difference as he was all alone.
Though.
But it definitely would have helped him. Yeah, and it wouldn't have been so awkward. Those are the kind of things, though, that can add up. Those can be big difference makers, because even if Crims got 1 or 2 kills, the economy of AMKAL is in no great shape. That in itself could have been a difference maker. Oh, I would actually kind of like to see a tactical timeout.
Yeah,
they've done a lot of damage to body, but that's unconfirmed damage. They're not sure what the current situation is, and this is taking a lot of time for them to readjust and to start to get into bathrooms. Oh, that's a huge pick, though.
It's a nice opener. Forrester's been good for causing some issues down towards Monster. This is another one of those rounds where he's had some success. Good timing on the Molotov, and the spam through does damage onto Travis. He's actually shut down by Krad as well, with an unfortunate bullet landing into the back of his teammate and putting them in a 4 versus 4. 35 seconds on the timer, Vince. They deviate from the fight towards A, go down through connector, and go back to where this round started, the B site bombardment in the final 30.
Yeah, Molly's proceeding to push with a flashbang as well. Matty's needs to have a couple kills up his sleeve. You have to feel he's gone into a more deep passive angle, and now Body and Crims are shining, and they're shining too bright, blinding the onto cool little change of pace.
No, that was really sick. There's a lot of teams now that have had the extra time to figure out lineups to break smokes for their teammates, but that was a beautifully executed one. And Magisk with a boost. Commanding respect. This time Forrester gets no success. He's been really good at instigating issues at the B-bomb site. Not today though, Vince, as he falls an important round where you'd want him to force the CTs out as well. And Nickelback's low. Green around the gills with 13 HP, given the utility to play as the grenade man, whilst the rest of the team tries to take the fights. Matty's probably going to be first point of contact on this if they're going for the B play, Vids. Is he ready to mow them down with the AK?
Well, the set play is coming through, 35 seconds left now. And Matty's, oh, he went for that wide swing, but no one's home. This is a ruse, it's a fake, it's misdirection. The problem is, though, Jackie, there's not much time, and they haven't dealt with bathrooms. I think Body's just been spotted, but as long as he survives, it draws away fire. Afro's got to hit these shots, though. There's one. It could be good enough. The second flick is on point, and now Nickelback, who is low on 13, may have survived the AWP barrage, but not Crim.
Into the station, and at least be denied initially. They are going for a bit of a contact walk-in through the smoke, though, and Nickelback, flashed in by his teammates, looks for the entry. It's a dink, Vince, but it's not good enough. Matty's denies with 2.
Beautiful. Low HP, but those 2 kills worth their weight in gold, and now it forces AMKAL back. It's not just the 2 frags, it stops the push. It wastes the utility that AMKAL invested to try and get on the site in the first place. They're going to go for the peak, and they do get a bit of success here, but QB returns fire, and a 1-for-1 trade in that situation, perfectly fine as far as fNATIC are concerned.
7-5. Looks like a very real possibility at this point. As AMKAL down to just 2 players, neither of them with any of the bells and whistles they'd want in a sort of round like this either. Krad looking in the muck, the murky waters, seeing if there's anything extra he can use, but not looking good, Vince. 40 seconds. Best possible attempt to just play off one another, go for a raw site take in the dying moments. It seems like it's the A play they want. That's where the Galil was, underneath the water. He couldn't spot it. It's all about the Tet 9 for him, Vince.
Tet 9 may be a blessing in disguise. We've seen some players do outrageous things with this pistol. 18 bullets. of doom and misery, but it's IC that gets one.
Minute and 20 seconds on the clock, and they're already up towards front toilets. IC can pop flash in for Forrester, though, to refake this out towards long.
Oh, Forrester with 3! The flash was sublime, though, from IC. They lined up for him. It couldn't have been a better lineup if they tried. And now Forrester, although low, can back away knowing he pretty much just secured his team the pistol.
Oh, that was despicable. Played to perfection, flashbang in from his teammate. And they were gone in a flash, Vince.
And that's the bomb as well, Jackie. It's stuck in such an awkward position. It's why they're hanging around and trying to set up crossfires. IC going in for the jump peaks. Now knows that they've retrieved the bomb. 35 seconds left. If there's any way forward, it has to be an insta-headshot at this stage from Crims, who's going to be going out first into the firing squad. IC took a bullet to the dome, but he's still on 2 HP, and now Crims all alone. Travis
Off. Audio cue will be given across. You'll have an idea of the sort of setup they went for, but it won't matter as they move off. In connector, it's the triple threat. Flashbang over from QB as well, so they can go running on out, Vince, but the spam's nice from Forrester. Good timing with the nade as well. Oh, it's awkward, but Body gets the entry.
He does, but they're so weak, so low, that the molly is going to take away the life of Matties, but more entries are forthcoming. HE tossed in between all the players, putting that into the back of the net, but so far it's just fNATIC that are scoring in this round. I'm not even sure that AMKAL feel convinced they can go in for this one in these current positions. That Molotov should kill Body. That's the difference of CS2. We could have got away with that in CSGO, but no longer the case. But Crips now in the perfect position, whiffs his spray. That allows AMKAL to get back into this now. The timer may be low, but the flashes are good, and QB is stuck between multiple positions. Stuck at the back of the site on 7 HP, and a leaping in the air crowd shuts him down, and with the kit, a successful clutch.
45 seconds on the clock. The up-close angle in play. IC defensive with the AWP, strikes first. Krad supports on the repeat as QB gets domed. Laid out on the ground. Time now getting tight, Vince. 32 seconds. Crims with the flank. Pulls off the backstab on Krad. Nickelback. Trapped between 2 angles. Can't decide who to prioritize. But his teammates do the work for him. And it's all on Crims. 20 seconds. He's got the bomb, but you're vastly outnumbered.
Outnumbered, and now he's not sure with the smoke as to where these CTs even are anymore. Yeah, he has the right idea. He even landed a bullet or two onto IC, but it's going to do nothing for his overall prospects of winning this round. So they cannot deny.
HE follow-up that softens up the opposition. Krad. Will he outstay his welcome? He wants to play on the close angle, Vince. Afro's pre-scoped, gets the frag.
It's a nice shot as well. Maybe not the angle he was anticipating. May have even been aiming more towards bathrooms, but adjusted it quickly. But the threats are still plentiful. Many hurdles to trip over, one of which is Travis. 1 kill, though, is all he can muster, and that could open up business on the B side. They have Nickelback watching the cross, needs this kill. Crims bests him, and a 2-on-4. fNATIC surely have got to win their first T round now.
They need to. But they've got to speak with their actions, not their words. QB. He tries to defend as he'll strike against Forrester and IC. If he wanted to be the hero of the round, Vince, it'll have to be waiting for another day. He backs off for the save onto the AWP. Wants to prioritize the weapon, knowing they've got a big buffer of rounds. They can give this one away. They can give fNATIC an 8th on the board.
Of course, they would have wanted to have got this one done as fast as possible, but they'll feel confident and comfortable to know they still have a buffer of rounds to work with. They still have funds at their disposal. They can write this off as a fluke.
On Fountain side, short is fought for as Forrester runs through his own smoke, but Afro puts the barrel in the belly and pulls the trigger with the entry. QB on the tap as well. Bye-bye, Travis.
Keyhole surgery shot, beautiful to watch, and IC in the meanwhile, though, is going to make sure that this isn't uncontested. There will be some bloodshed in return. It could just be all for naught, though, a drop in the bucket, because the bulk of the damage has been done, and it will afford the luxury of fNATIC getting up close on the B side. Flashbang in for the peak. No one home. Nickelback can relay that information, but with a minute left on the clock, Jackie, fNATIC don't have to make any sudden movements. They can wait out a little bit longer and see if maybe AMKAL over-rotate, get a bit aggressive. Krad's trying to fake out the rotation, and that could be the go button. fNATIC may be baiting down on that push.
Grenades go over the top, back towards Graffiti. It's just a splatter of blood as Krad is slain. Nickelback has his back broken, and Icy again is forced to save. fNATIC get themselves a 9th round. They're holding the Reaper back, Vince, with each and every one of these, but their T side does not have any space for a mistake.
That's precisely it. The pressure is certainly on. And let's take stock of the situation as well, Jackie. It's not just the RMR. This is a 1-1 matchup. Yeah. You win this, you are 2-1 already. You're in a very good spot. You go 1-2. Some of the teams we have down in that 1-2 bracket are looking very sharp indeed. This is long. And let's see if they can make this rush work. We've had a bit of a time-out call. Maddie's undeterred by the grenades, leaping into the air and finds himself Icy, thaws him out real quick. But Nickelback was there for a couple of seconds before he eats the dirt from Body's AK. More trades going in favor of fNATIC, putting it into Krad, and QB is there to double up. Chance to do so.
Trouble at toilets. Smokes and flashbangs going off. Icy. Will he see them, Vince? He's going for the contact peak, walking around the corner. Ooh, it's going to be a bit rough on the timing for it. Matty's, you'd think maybe he'd have an opportunity to surprise, but instead he's slain. The other AWPer in Afro claps back though, and it's 1-for-1. The snipers leading the charge right now.
It's a bit sloppy from Krad, isn't it? Peeking before the smoke fully plumed. That's the kind of position that AWPers typically will eventually relate into, especially with 35, 40 seconds left on the clock. And that sloppy play may have cost them dearly. Travis, in the meanwhile, damage inflicted to QB, but it's not enough. But this is all a ruse, because the bulk of the T's have their eyes trained on the A site, and Icy will be called upon one more time as Afro dispatches of him. How he wishes Krad was still alive to help him out.
Begging for the backup that will never come, Vince. His teammates are already firmly placed in a grave, and from fNATIC looking like they were out in this map, they've clawed themselves a path towards a potential victory. And with the final few shots connecting, it seems like a 12th is now guaranteed.
It has certainly been guaranteed, as Forrester has no intent or interest in going for this, and Crims is already a few steps ahead. He knows the importance of securing no survivors in this round. They have tons of cash as well. They're going to have easily enough to buy into the next one. Over onto the bank, double nading it. And there's a molly behind it as well. But all this is doing is giving away the information. And AMKAL are amply stacked onto the site here. Icy can just hide behind the box, but it's Body that opens it up. Gets the entry, looking for more, but he doesn't quite have the timing on Krad, who puts him down.
But the bomb isn't there, Vince. It's all been an elaborate ruse, and in reality, they want to abuse the defensive setup towards the B site. 45 seconds on the clock. Flashbangs go soaring over. The lurker of Matty's could be a big backbreaker in this round, but they haven't harsh committed yet. They're waiting, looking for an opportunity to set up the play. Forrester gets angsty and wraps back towards A. Matty's can cut him down, Vince, and give them an opening pick to play with. It's all about timing on this one.
Oh, Forrester checks again, but there's only 20 seconds, so the rest of the T's now need to make a move in. They have the springboard, they have Matty's, the snake in the grass, who can pincer in and try and put an end to this comeback as he goes in for the spray. There's the...